Do. Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. Wherever you are in your part of the world. Hello. It's Monday. It is a beautiful Monday. And I am jumping on to be able to give you some words of encouragement and inspire you on this Monday. We've been talking about transition. There are so many times that you have good things to share. I jump on and I share good things. Thank you for joining. But sometimes it's good to share the not so good things as well. The things that's just not as pleasant. The things that are necessary. And we don't discuss this frequently. So today, I thought I'd share about apologies along the way, because sometimes we have to reflect on the things that we're going through, and part of that calls for us to reevaluate and change our position on some things, to make a detour in our thinking. And so when we really think about our actions, we might have to go back and apologize. So I would admonish and encourage all of you to be gentle in the process as you're going through this journey, because you're going to have to apologize to someone. The number one person you want to apologize to is you. So you are your biggest fan, but you are also your biggest enemy. You see your flaws, you hear your negative self-chatter, and you can do things that will encourage you or discourage you. And I say that because sometimes you will do things that will keep you in integrity and that will make you feel so great and awesome inside. But then there's other times when you will do things that just bring inner conflict, because you're saying that you're about this one thing. You're saying that you have values and that you're forthcoming, that you are honest and trustworthy, right? But then you do things like you pick up that cheesecake. Hey, Anitra, you pick up that cheesecake when you know that you want to lose 20 pounds. Or you stay up watching TV when you know you got to get up early in the morning. Or you will do things like procrastinate, put things off that you know you have to do. Hey, Preston. And so when you do these things, you really bring yourself out of alignment with your integrity. You really throw yourself off, and you know it. Nobody else has to know. It may not be real recognizable to other people, but you know it, and it takes something away from you every single time. And eventually you feel like a fraud. You feel like you are just not living in harmony with what your true core values are, or your purpose. So one thing I would admonish you to do is apologize to you for that. Apologize for feeling that you had to do anything the right way. Apologize for not allowing yourself to make mistakes and to grow. Apologize for talking to yourself in a way that was not respectful or loving or kind. Be clear that you did it because you just didn't know. You didn't know any better. And when you know better, you do better. So once you find out that you have been doing things that are not best serving for you, that are not going to get you to the next step that you want to go, that's not going to uplift you or encourage you. Thank you for joining, everybody. Nice to see you. Hey, Rocky. Then I want you to stop. Run to the closest mirror and tell yourself you're sorry. Tell yourself what you're going to do. Commit. Be proud of you for at least acknowledging the truth to you. Because if you can't tell the truth to you, you can't tell the truth to nobody else. You can fool yourself into thinking that you are, but you're really not. And it will show up. It'll show up in the frown in your face. It'll show up in the dis-ease in your body. It'll show up in discomfort. It'll show up in haters. It'll show up in judgment and criticism. My timeline is a beautiful timeline because I intentionally make it that way. I only dwell on positive things. But there are times when we're just human, right? So people will be really discouraged by what they call haters, or individuals that they feel are not pushing them up or don't get what they're doing or talking about them. And I would ask anybody who's experiencing that to ask yourself, are you a hater? Are you hating on you? Are you saying those things about you? Are you really scared to do the things that you're doing? Are you critical of yourself and telling yourself that you're not capable, you're not enough? If you do it to you, it's going to show up in everything, in what you focus your intention on. So if you're saying that to you, you're going to hear and see haters. And the more you release that, the more you let that go, they will disappear. You will see promoters. You will see encouragers. How do I know? Because I do it for myself. There was a time when I felt ridiculed and rejected all of the time. There was a time I had to take a pause and people didn't understand it. And they said mean things about me. But instead of taking it to Facebook, I took it to prayer, I took it to meditation, and I had to think seriously on how I view myself. Did I really feel the way that I was thinking other people were saying? And if so, why? And then I had to look in the mirror and apologize to myself. Because I can only do what I can do. And the same is true for you. And if I want to improve, I have to go learn to be better. I have to be willing to invest in myself. I have to be willing to do the work. And the same is true for you. So I'm going to ask you, as you're going through your transition and you're going through all of these changes, to just be gentle with yourself and give yourself apologies as they come up, as you feel them, as the need arises. Don't look for external validation. It feels good for other people to see what you're doing and to compliment you and encourage you and pat you on the back. But sometimes you just have to do it for yourself. And then other occasions, you have to just make an apology when you know that you were out of bounds. Yesterday, I've been working on this project with someone, and the truth is I just didn't do what I needed to do. I didn't show up and perform the way I needed to perform because I was in the middle of my own personal transition. That had nothing to do with my professionalism, my activities that I had going on. Those still went on, and I still needed to get those done despite my personal life. So then when I seen that something needed to be taken care of, it was past the deadline. And I wanted to fix it right now. So now I have a sense of urgency because I caught on. But I was busy when it needed to be done. And so, of course, that causes misunderstanding and tension, because if you look at the other person, they have other things that they're doing. So when they've met the deadline, they got to keep the project moving. And so I'm just asking something simple. This is not a major request. Can you accommodate me? And the answer was no. And I had to be okay with that. And that wasn't easy, because I like to have my way. I like to have my way. I want it when I want it. Anybody know me know that's true. But I know that I'm not just talking for myself. So, after I thought about it and I considered what the other person is going through and how the other person is taking on everything, I went back and I apologized. I apologized for my contribution to the misunderstanding. I apologized for not being available and for being distracted as things was going on. And I just simply said, please forgive me. Please forgive me. It wasn't easy. It took some soul searching, but it was necessary. Because my ultimate goal is to be in integrity. My ultimate goal is to bring peace and love. Hey, Eddie. My ultimate goal is to make things easiest for all parties concerned. So I simply said, please forgive me. If you can accommodate my request, I greatly appreciate it, and we work something out. So sometimes as you're going through this, you'll find that you're learning and growing and that you're becoming a better person. You're gaining better character traits, and you're learning, and you might have to make apologies along the way when you can see areas where you need to improve. And that takes nothing away from you. That actually adds to you. How many people can do that? And the more you can do it for yourself, the more you can recognize it in others. So for instance, the haters who are making comments, when you recognize how you've been critical of yourself and how you've been judging yourself, and you apologize to yourself for that, and you recognize it all came up from fear, then you will see that the haters really just have fear too. Maybe you're doing things that the haters wish they had courage and strength to be brave enough to stand up and do. Maybe you will see that the haters are really critical of themselves, and so therefore they're critical of you. And that is not personal. That if they're saying something, that's a reflection of them. You have nothing to do with that. That's none of your business. All you could do is work on you. So I jump on here and I encourage and I inspire and I show up in a happy mood because I choose to focus on the positive. It's not because I'm without problems or I've made it to the mountaintop, because I haven't. I am not where I want to be, but I can tell you I am not where I was. And if you know me, you know that's true. Every day is a learning experience. Every day is an opportunity to do it over. Every day you are created to do something creative. So you can create gloom and doom. You can focus on how things are not working out. Or you can focus on the solution and how you can make something happen. And that enlivens you. That changes your mood. That gives you the tone that you need to proceed forward. So on this day, assess yourself. Have you been nice to you? Or have you been looking at everything that is not working out? Everything you did wrong? All of the flaws that you have? If so, run to your closest mirror and apologize now. Commit to stopping. That's the best self-love you can give yourself. And then be willing to do it to others too. When you show up different, that's going to shake people up. It's okay. If you need to apologize for something you did in the past, okay, do so. It doesn't take anything away from you. It actually adds so much to your character, to your value, to your likability. Because you will like you. Even if they don't receive the apology, right? Even if they don't get it, if they don't appreciate it, that is not your concern. Don't worry about it. You did what you needed to do. And it's a scripture for it. It's biblical. I'll just throw that in there. Whatever it is that you can do that's within your power to do, get it done. And that helps you along the journey. It makes the transition a little easier. I started doing these talks because I have a lot of tremendous friends who are doing great things that on the outside it looks like they have everything going on, and they are some beautiful, amazing people. But a few of them in recent times came and divulged to me that they just were tired. They didn't want to hold on any longer. They felt like giving up. And I never would have imagined it. Not in a million years. And I'm not at that point. Hey, Fee. I'm not at that point right now, but I have been. And I know what it feels like. And I call that rock bottom. Especially when you got it going on. And for all onlookers, you are the bomb. You just have everything packaged nicely. But on the inside, you just don't feel good. Well, how can we change that? How did I change it? I started to examine the limited beliefs that held me back. And I did the work to ask myself what was true for me. And then I started to recognize some of the sabotaging behaviors that I was doing to myself. And I had to accept some of the circumstances were of my own doing. Nobody else did them. I put myself in situations where my circumstances became very unpleasurable. But that was my choice. And I had to own it and take responsibility for it. But in amongst doing that, I've learned so much, and I was able to tap into a connection that always felt elusive to me. I always had the intellectual capacity to comprehend it. And I always had the book knowledge of what the connection was and who it connected to and why I should have the connection. And I was given this strong foundation on what the connection should look like. But it did not just connect for me like that. It didn't. So quoting all the scriptures and having all the answers and showing up in a happy smile and acting like everything was okay, that did not work for me. I was miserable. I felt stuck. And I just wanted to quit. I wanted to quit. But I decided I'm not quitting on me. I'm not quitting on my young people. I'm all they have. And I'm going to show up because somebody could be at that last line. They could be on the very moment when they're ready to press the button in two and say, I don't want to do this no more. And I just want to tell you, don't give up. Don't give up. Don't quit. There's so much to the process of growing. But all of the steps that we take, all of the things that we go through in the process, it really is going to result in the good for you because you were created for good. You were created with good intention, and good is for you. You just gotta reach for it. And it comes with your connection. And it comes through these growing pains. But if you just hold on, and if you be willing to just be truthful with yourself and do the work, it gets so much better. And you'll be in integrity. And you'll feel great. And you'll be able to keep on transitioning forward. So that's what I have for you today. I'm getting very excited. The book is coming out pretty soon. We're releasing it October the 20th, Transitions, Create the Life You Desire. And it is a compilation of 16 ordinary women who came together and discussed the different things that they went through and the different pivotal transitions that have brought them to this point. I believe we all have a story. We all have something to share that's going to be encouraging. And it's simple things. It's the simple things that we think about that we may already know, but we just might need to be reminded of. It may be simple things you've heard 1,000 times, but if you are honest with yourself, are you doing them? You might know them. You might have heard everything 1,000 times, but have you took the action that is required to get it done? The very action that's going to make your transition successful. So I want you to think about that. I want you to go to the mirror and apologize to yourself. Apologize to anybody that you feel is owed an apology. And if apologies are necessary in the near future, don't make them long, elaborate, or anything else. Just say, please forgive me, and leave it. Anything else is not within your control. You can't make nobody take it. You can't make nobody receive it, but you have to. Receive your own apology. You are worth it and you deserve it. Okay, you guys, you have a beautiful Monday wherever you are at. And I promise to join you promptly tomorrow. I will be joining you at 9:30 Mountain Standard Time tomorrow, which is 12:30 Eastern Standard Time and 11:30 Central Standard Time. Thank you so much, you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.